You guys do realize I also think that we should like reduce or eliminate the subsidies on meat and like corn syrup and shit, right? You know that too, right? You're aware of the fact that I also believe that, right? Even though it'll mean that your fucking McDonald's burgers get a lot more expensive. Vaush is anti-poor. We should continue dedicating 50% of our land and billions of taxpayer dollars into artificially inflating the profits of a cabal of ultra-powerful fast food chains that make money by leeching people in with a bunch of, like, artificially flavored and sweetened meat homogenate that they get on the cheap because the taxpayer pays for them, effectively making McDonald's a fucking, like, publicly funded, privately controlled, hyper-subsidized machine for maintaining customer support. See, there's a farmer agreeing with me. Kowalski from Nebraska. What's up, man? As a farmer, Vaush is right. I am trapped growing corn and raising cattle because the subsidized market makes any economic alternative too expensive. Yeah, look at this. That giant yellow block in the middle is the pasture and range for cows. There's livestock feed. That's the other giant fucking square next to it. This is like half of all of America, dedicated entirely to giving cows wheat so that we can kill the cow and sheep and goats. And we don't generally kill the horses. We ride those. These subsidies seem like they're nice in the short term, but in the long term, they're not. Look at these. U.S. farm subsidies in 2020 alone. This is just subsidies and bailouts, just 2020. Cattle, 7.3 billion. Dairy, 3.5 billion. Pigs, 1.1 billion. And then, oh, look at that, down there. All of the non-meat things, like nothing. USA school meal payments to meat and dairy producers. What's at the top there? Why is the government paying so much money? Subsidies and bailouts for farms in 2020, 53 billion. This is a substantial portion of our budget. You guys know that, right? This isn't like pithy money. This is actually a lot. Totally unsustainable. But it's like I'm saying this, and people in the chat are like, so you want poor people to not be able to afford $2 hamburgers? Yeah, kind of. Because there are long-term consequences to these subsidies. Now, because of all of this hyper-artificial, like, deflation of the prices at the expense of the taxpayer, the consequence of that is that the only food you can get cheaply, quickly, and easily as a poor person, out, like, from a restaurant, not from grocery shopping, is meat stuff. To leave aside the ethical and the economic consequences of incentivizing this treatment of animals, and, like, I'm not even going to get into the vegan stuff here, but, like, going beyond that, you know, there are way cheaper ways of getting cheap, delicious food. Here's a quick question. Hey guys, have you ever been to a Mexican restaurant? Are you aware for the fact that essentially pennies on the dollar of resources, you can get like refried rice, beans, some tortillas, and some shit like that, some chips, some lime wedges. You can get all of that, which is a full filling meal with fat, protein, and carbohydrates that's delicious and costs like $0. Like, seriously, if you could imagine all that land that gets committed towards the use of those resources, and it's like, no, this is actually the rice and beans block now. We would be able to feed every American for nothing. Every fucking American. Hey man, want to get some cheap food because I'm poor and I live in East Los Angeles and I live in the ghetto and there are 16 homeless people per square foot outside? Yeah, man, time for us to go to El McDonaldo's, okay? Fucking go on over there. Damn. You're giving me 1,200 calories of rice, beans, tortillas, chips, and lime wedges for only 6 cents because this shit is fucking free, actually? Damn, that's crazy. I'm just saying, like, it incentivizes, like, bad, negative, long-term market effects. We subsidize green energy because we want companies to get involved in developing green energy tech. We don't want them subsidizing meat because there is no meat tech. We're not developing new tech for meat. We're just driving the costs down to keep the businesses afloat. But nuggies? Well, it's not like there still wouldn't be meat that's made and sold. It would just be more expensive, which it should be. It's inefficient. It's literally inefficient to make meat. When you harnessed meat from an herbivore, you're getting about 1/10 the caloric efficiency as just the calories that the cow had to eat. Like, it's thermodynamically inefficient. There's no way to improve on that. Even with lab-grown meat, you would still need to invest more resources in the creation of a certain amount of calories of meat than you would if you just ate, like, the supplying materials themselves, or you know, the caloric equivalent in human food. Yeah, meanwhile, NASA does everything with the budget. Yeah, NASA's budget is half what we do to support, like, fucking corn and beef. What's the alternative? Don't subsidize corn and beef. That's it. That's literally, this is like, this is a huge, this isn't like some crazy lefty shit. This is bad under capitalism, too. Like, this is just bad. This is just bad. It's just bad. Now, hold on. I mean, fuck meat, but it's chock full of protein in a way that veggies aren't. That's not true. That right there is the meat lobby lying to you. There is no special kind of protein that you get from meat that you could not easily get from just eating like other food. There's nothing specific to it. People, in America, we've been raised on the idea that meat is like this essential component to a healthy meal. It's literally not true. It is so easy. I'm not talking about going vegan or whatever. I'm just saying you can just not eat meat or be vegetarian or whatever and easily meet all of your vitamin requirements. Being vegan is more difficult because there's still good stuff you can get from animal products, but I'm not even talking about like giving up cheese or milk or whatever else. I'm just talking meat harvesting. But meat tastes good. Rice and beans, bro, I've had McDonald's. It's not that great. You're tasting salt and fat and ketchup. It's not that great. A good, well-seasoned rice and beans meal is great, okay? McDonald's is not that good. I don't know why. Like, yeah, a big hearty steak is great, you know? A really good, like hamburger is great, but that's not what you're getting at fast food restaurants. You're getting shit homogenate. McDonald's is better than rice and beans, fuck you mean? That's because you haven't had real rice and beans. Isn't corn cheap without subsidies too? Well, the reason that we subsidize corn isn't because of corn, it's because of corn syrup. And if you all know anything about corn syrup, then you're fully aware of the fact that corn syrup is basically like the food waste sawdust that gets placed in everything we eat that makes us fat. So corn syrup is a deep state plan to make all Americans too fat to escape the reckoning, okay? The corn subsidies are literally so companies can go, well, at least it's cheap for us to add homogenate paste to all of our food so we can add caloric weight and flavor at basically no cost for funsies, you know? Highly addictive. Well, I shouldn't say highly addictive. It's not like cocaine or whatever, but, you know, it's... in the U.S., widely used in food manufacturing because its sweetness was similar to sucrose, 8.3 million tons in 2017 production. Jesus Christ. The basic consequence that you get from high fructose corn syrup is that like it's like a homogenate where it's not like cancerous or anything, but it's like an easy paste that gets added to everything. Did I say corn syrup? Jesus Christ, I'm tired and hungry. It's like a homogenate paste that gets added to everything. And it is like measurably decrease the quality of our food, and like more of it is added than is necessary because like no American gives a shit about calories anymore. So it's like why are we spending billions of dollars as the federal government to subsidize an industry to make the production of this cheaper so that food companies can put this in food rather than like the regular things that are in it? You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing that? Why does that happen? That's kind of weird. Subsidy stunlock.